Hey there, it's Maury Curtis Dunbar from Painted Studio. It's a Monday. We're in the studio, we're creating, and we're having some fun. And I thought I'd bring you in to join me. In the past, you've seen that I've done cups similar to this. Well, today we're going to do some more. I have a couple cups that I owe some friends as gifts, and I thought I'd do them live here with you watching me. And that's what we're gonna do, but hang on a second, I forgot something just a foot out of the camera range, so hang on. I needed these. I know, not terribly interesting, but later on they will be. They are the foam inserts that hold the cup on the turner. And I had them over there, and the cup turner's over there, so yeah, no. All right, so I'm gonna flip this down. We're gonna start in on our project. So I've got two cups here, and we carry these cups. They're available for purchase on paintedstudio.com. And what I've done is cleaned them, sanded them, and then wiped them down with denatured alcohol to remove any of the manufacturing oil, which is standard operating procedure. Things like this have to get a little oil on them to help them move through the manufacturing process. Then, after doing all of that, I painted them with a set coat black, then put on a layer of Artsyville foil adhesive, and now we're gonna get on to the fun part. So I have two cups here. They're going to be different because I have two different people receiving them, and we're gonna have a little fun with them. So the first one, I'm gonna take a couple of these different blue foils and sort of pounce them on here. So this is our blue Pebble foil. And I'm gonna take a little piece of that. And normally, most of the time you see me applying foil, it is a smooth application. Just putting it on and smoothing it out and scrubbing it. Well, today we're going to do a little bit of crunching it up a little bit like this. So we're going to take it and pounce it. And we're going to move it around and recrumple. And this already gives like a killer iridescent texture. I'll hold it up to the camera in a minute. This is the best way for me to hold this. Otherwise it goes rolling around and picks up other crud with the adhesive. So if you look on that, you can see there's sort of like, it looks almost like a crackle of blue all over this. And I used our blue Pebble foil because I wanted the duality in color. And I could take a little of this and put it on, so I'll show you what I mean by that. This, however, is not a fabric foil, just for those who want to know about our foils. Some of our foils are for fabric, some of them are not. I'm going through the entire website these days to make sure each one is correctly listed as a fabric or non-fabric foil. All right. And just release a little more on here. So I've got a couple of shades of blue on this, just giving me a nice double blue iridescence. Hey Carrie, hey Arlene, nice to see you. So you can see I pounced that on there, and I've got a couple of shades of blue, and it doesn't look that interesting now. So I'm going to take our Peridot green, and let me take some of that. Hey Maddie, nice to see you. All right, so I'm gonna take some of this Peridot green and cut what I need for this. And you can see this is one of my few 2-foot wide rolls. Most of the foils are not available in this width anymore. Most of my foils are 1 foot wide. And then I'm gonna do the smart thing. You can see there's this little silver edge. The smart thing would be move that cup out of the way. There's a little silver edge right here, and you can trim it off like I'm doing, or you just have to work around it, because if you leave the silver edge and it hits the adhesive, it will transfer silver onto your surface instead of the color you were aiming for. All right, so now I'm going to take this, set it on the foil. I'm going to wrap it up like a big metal burrito. And I'm going to rub the foil on here first. And I'm going to make sure I get the bottom because I did that. Hey, Gary. You finally got a notification? That's good. We're not sending out the ones through our messenger anymore because we're still working things out with ManyChat to figure out what the permissions are. But you should, as long as you've liked and followed the page, you should at least receive a standard Facebook notification that I'm on. So I've rubbed all of this, and where's my little scrubby? I'm going to take a scrub brush for one final pass. And then I'm going to roll this back off. And now you see that cool kill it. I'm going to pull the light over so maybe you can see it a little better. Oops, light's right in the camera. That wasn't what I meant to do. But you can see we've got this great mottled blues and green texture on here. And it's really pretty and very, very elegant looking, very clean. Make sure I get the bottom of this too. I thought I saw a spot here that I missed, but it might have been a lot of blue on there. Yep, that was just a lot of blue. So that in itself, I mean, that could be a killer cup like that. We're gonna throw those foil bits to the side and they go into our packing box. So some of you receive packages from us. Sometimes you get little scraps of foil in them so you can keep them and test them out on other things. Now, as much fun as that is for my friend Camilla, who is an absolute Elvis fan. So I cut this out on my Cricut Maker with the signature, and we're gonna transpose that on here. I mean, this is so awesome. And I've been promising her something Elvis. Well, let's say we've been friends for 35 years, 36 years now, and this is the first Elvis thing I've made for her, and she's been a fan of Elvis. So I'm a bad friend. I didn't do her Elvis long before now. So now I've got it on the backing. I've got to pull this backing off so I can mount this onto. And this is the Cricut's, what the heck is it? Metallic vinyl or vinyl, whatever they call it. And of course, where did my picker go that I just put here? Hang on, I gotta go grab another one because it's not like I don't have a million of them. All right, fortunately everything's within a few feet of me. Wrap this foil back up before something bad happens to it too. I don't know about you all, but while we're on quarantine, I'm watching a lot of movies, and I'm watching a lot of weird movies. I just was watching earlier today that had the Crazies on in here, and I'm like, great, so I'm watching a zombie epidemic movie. Maybe not the best choice. And, you know, you can get your SVG files right from Cricut, but you can buy tons of these on Etsy. All right, and I think that's right where it needs to go, too. Wow, I landed that on there really well. That doesn't often happen. Now, I'm trying not to push hard on the backing material, the transfer tape, because I don't want to pull it off and have it pull off any foil, although that is correctable if it does. So I've got all of this on here. Now this is going to take just a second or two to get it pulled off. I don't know where I'm going to have my pull-off challenges. There are always some. This looks like it's wanting to come off really well on here. So say thank you. Take cake when cake is passed. And there is Elvis on that cup. How cool is that? Which Cricut did I end up buying? I bought the Cricut Maker in rose gold because everything's better with pink. All right, so I've got that on here. Now I just have to get the Elvis signature. And I bought this template on Etsy. I bought a whole bunch of Elvis SVG files. I have a lot of, now that I understand what an SVG file is, I can't make them myself, but I know where to find really cool ones. So I buy a lot of really good ones off of Etsy. They have, they've got a lot of makers on there who do great files. Let's get this all off of here. And you can find files like of everything on Etsy. Obviously, I found Elvis with, I went looking for Elvis thinking I might find one file. I found thousands on Etsy. And all you do is you pay for it and then download it to your computer. All right, so I don't remember. I think Elvis went as the signature on the stencil. It went right there. And I kind of like that right there. So there's my cup. There's my Elvis signature. I think that's just so sharp. All right, so that one's going to go to the side, and we'll deal with the epoxy. The epoxy in a few minutes, but I got to do this other one. So that gets over there. Now we have for another friend. And all my friends actually know that these are coming. So we're gonna mess with this one. This is gonna be a little more interesting. I'm going a little crazier on the pattern. I'm gonna take some of our shattered glass foil. And each of these foils and colors and designs were picked very specifically for the person I'm making them for. The Elvis is for my friend Camilla. This one I'm actually making for Jennifer. And the sticker for that one is Vegas, because anybody who's known Jennifer and me for at any length of time knows we've had some very interesting Vegas adventures. And Jennifer's the queen of foils, so I'm giving her a little foil tribute here. So again, I have released that in this sort of crackled pattern all over, and it's just a light pounce. Excuse me, pounce. So this is all right, and I got the bottom. Not as well as I could have, but... And you just pounce it on that and it releases this in this very cool crackle. Whoever gets that piece in their shipment is going to be happy, because that's almost a full sheet of foil. And now we're going to use our Jaguar over it. I mean, that's going to be very cool. Jaguar and holographic glittery shattered glass. I couldn't have gotten much more Vegas. Now the cool thing is with these images that I cut off of my Cricut Maker, I can cut like multi-layers and multiple colors and all kinds of stuff, or I can use them as stencils. It really depends on what I want. For this one, I wanted the lettering and I wanted the cutouts really sharp and clear, and I wanted them to be in the metallics that I chose. So yeah, this worked out great. All right, here we go. Another cup burrito. And now I'm just going to massage my cup a little bit here. I love this cheetah foil. I mean, this Jaguar foil. It's so cool. I have got so many projects. I've got 3 tables. I'm making cups. I've got platters. We've got kits. We've got all kinds of stuff going on. All right, let me get the bottom of this one more time. Okay, so I'm not sure you can see the silver crackle in here as well as I can, but it looks like holographic silver thread running through here. Yeah, Carrie, yes, these are the nail polish strips from Sherry Miller. For all those who are asking how I'm keeping good nails during shutdown without being able to go to the salon, my friend Sherry Miller does, I think they're called Busy Girl manicures, I'm not sure, but they are the best nail polish strips I've ever used, and they come in great colors and killer patterns. Okay, so we got our pattern on here. We got our little holographic threads running through here because the way I released the foil before it. And now we're going to release the Vegas on here. And we're going to move after this. We're going to go on over to the cup turners. All right. So what I'm doing here is I can use a rolling brayer, or I can use a squeegee kind of tool. And I am making sure that my sticker sticks to the backing material, or the transfer tape on the front, not the backing material, so that I can then move it over onto my cup. And as always, you know, things have a little temper, so I got to work it off. Take a minute. Take the time you need to do this. Do not try to rush these, because if you do, you'll tear them, or you'll stretch them, or you'll pull them off in a bad way and lose parts that you want to keep. Okay, come off of there. I know what you are. Come on off. I'm gonna have to pull this little corner off because I had them all stapled together. All right, so we're gonna put this down. Oh, you haven't gotten yours yet, Carrie? You're gonna love them. They take a little practice, and so a couple of my manicures weren't as good as others, but this one, the first one in the 15th came fine. No, I'm just kidding. I just do my nails a lot because I like to change colors, and then I trash them here in the studio. So, okay, so now we've got our transfer on here. I'm pushing down only on the vinyl that I need to stick because I don't need the tape to stick. There we go. Let's peel her back off. And don't pull straight up. That puts a lot of tension on both the surface and the stencil. Pull either as close to perpendicular to it as you can. It's an easier tension on the surface, so you're not pulling straight up and ripping stuff off of here. All right, we got Vegas on our cup. Perfect. Let's take a little look here. Got a little buckle there that needs to be smoothed. I got a little buckle there. And this is what happens when you work on a surface that's not 100% perfectly smooth and even. You know, this has got a slight angle to it, so we got to deal with the angle within the transfer too. So we got that all down on there. And then the next thing that has to go on is the little star goes over that star. Again, pushing. There we go. Let's peel the star back. There we go. Now this is going to take, because this star actually is supposed to line up over this one. And I am not notoriously good about lining things up like this. take a little bit of offing because that just drops a little shadow to it. But other than that, I did all right. I'm impressed. Vegas, baby. I mean, that in itself. Now, I can draw around all of these letters, and I could put glitter on here. I could do all kinds of things. I think these two cups I'm going to keep a little simpler because that's so out of my nature to go simple. Oh, but I really like that. I don't think I'm going to go that simple, though. There will be glitter, just not as glittery as some of my others. I'm sorry, I'm a little dry. I've got a little bit of dry mouth today, and I can't seem to stop clearing my throat. All right, we're going to move things over because I'm going to turn my camera light down, and we're going to switch you over so you can see the cup turners over here. And we're going to roll over this way. So now I've got my cups, and I have to determine the right size foam core on this. And this is just too small. I knew that was going to be the case, so I needed the bigger one. And we're going to stick that one on there. We're going to stick that one on there. I have one of these going. It was a test for the power to make sure I had the electricity I needed. All right, so, oops. Cut my foam brush on my cuff. Let's turn them both off. I'm going to mount the cups in here, and you just shove the foam down deep. You don't leave it up near the top, because if you leave it near the top and it gets epoxy in it, the epoxy will bind to the cup and you'll have ruined both the foam and the cup. Trust me, I know. And again, if you hear construction noises happening, that's because there's construction happening. Let me see if I can get some light over here without blinding you all. Does that help? That helps a little bit. There we go. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is mix epoxy. First thing I do, put on my gloves. Epoxy is alcohol solvent. So if you get any on your hands or on another surface, you need to wipe it down with isopropyl or denatured alcohol. That's what removes it. And then, so I'm checking the inside. We got some glitter on here. It wasn't the colors I was thinking about. So you have to wipe the surface down with isopropyl or with denatured to remove any of the components that shouldn't be there. So the first thing we're gonna do, we use art resin, 2-part epoxy. I carry 2 epoxies, art resin, and I carry liquid glass. Both are excellent, both cure food safe. This one cures softer and a little more flexible. So, and it's absolutely 0 VOC. The other one has a little bit of odor, but not at all out of control, and it dries harder for like a hard surface. So if you have a slightly flexible surface, I recommend using this product. If you have a hard surface, I recommend the other one. So either art resin, liquid glass, both are available. And if you don't remember why I recommend one over the other, you know, you can always ask me. That's what I'm here for. Okay, that was the hardener. This is the resin. Now, I say this every time, but I'm going to say it again. You must have exact, even amounts. Why is that? If you have too much hardener and not enough resin, it dries too fast and it dries very brittle. Let's see. I'm really good at eyeballing, but if you're not, and I'm only good at it because I've done it so much. If you have, so don't, unless you're really good at it, don't do what you just saw me do. You get a measuring cup out, you measure. Because if you, like I said, if you get too much hardener and not enough resin, it dries too hard, too fast, and is brittle. sorry, I am caught on cords over here. If you have too much resin and not enough hardener, it won't harden at all. So you measure out exact equal amounts and then mix them together. All right, I've scraped it out. I've scraped the bottom, I've scraped the sides. Oh, where did I get the cup turners? I ordered them off of Amazon. I got a couple from Michael's. They were overpriced, although I got a good coupon, and the people there don't know how to manage their merchandise. These I like better. These I get off of Amazon. They run about $25 a piece. All right, and then you stir this really well, and you'll see bubbles fly. That means you're getting it stirred up, but do not breathe the bubbles. The bubbles are epoxy. If you breathe those, you're breathing epoxy into your lungs. So it says stir until well mixed. So however well you think you've got it mixed, go back and stir it some more. Don't worry about the bubbles and stuff in here. That's what the blowtorch is for, which is, of course, the most fun part of this of all. Let me grab another cup over here. And I'm going to pour these into 2 cups. Why? Because I'm going to put glitter in each, and each cup is different, so each cup requires a different glitter. So for this one, because I can't leave well enough alone, I am going to put, we have gold tinsel glitter. This stuff is awesome. And I'm going to sprinkle some of that into here and make it a little more because, you know, it's always better with a little more. And I'm going to mix the glitter in. Okay, so I'm going to turn my cup turner on now, and this is important. Let's see if I can move this a little closer to the center of the screen so you can see better. My cup turner is now rotating, and this one cup turner does something interesting. You turn it on and it rotates one way, turn it off, turn it back on. It'll rotate in the other direction. So whichever direction is most convenient and comfortable for you to have it rotating while you go, you can adjust. Now, I prefer to have it rotating towards me because I see what's happening better. Oh, of course, now it doesn't want to do what I need it to do. It's not going to, there we go. So I'm going to pour a little on. Actually, what I'm going to do is pour a little bit on like that. And then I take a sponge brush and I smear it around. And I'll go back down on the paper and pick up what drips first part, because this is not a lot of epoxy on here. And I'm just basically moving it over the surface of the cup. I'm kind of giving myself a little slip coat for when I can pour the rest of what's on the cup in here. Now, don't have your cup tipping one direction or the other. You want it to be really as parallel to the surface, to the ground as possible, because then your epoxy will level evenly on the cup turner. If you don't, it won't. Sometimes you gotta move a little faster than others. I'm just trying to make sure I get everything coated, because I really didn't pour myself any extra epoxy today. I poured pretty much just exactly what I'm going to need for these cups, which means that I got to pay attention to how I'm applying it. And I always try to do the bottoms. I prefer it that way. I like the consistency. Also, that means that there's no open edge right there where if it didn't get the epoxy and everything didn't get sealed up, it would lift up. That's not an issue right there. All right, let's get the last of this out of here. And I use a sponge brush. You can use any kind of tool, but I use a sponge brush because it's really flexible, and then it's not expensive too, because this is basically, I've trashed this brush once I'm done with this. And these cups have lids, so they're thermal for hot or cold. But once this cures, even all the way up to this edge right here, the epoxy is food safe, so you can have it in your mouth without it being a health hazard, a safety hazard. Okay. Okay, limited, a little glitter, not a ton, just a little bit for Jennifer. This is pretty damn Vegas bling here. Sorry for anybody who gets offended when I curse. maybe you want to listen to somebody else. Okay, so I've gotten that on. And I'm just making sure I got all my epoxy on. That's really all I was doing there. That was not because it's that hard to apply. I just wanted to get all the epoxy and use it. I'm going to slide that one back over here, and we're going to bring up the other cup turner, and we're going to take that epoxy, and once this is mixed, I have about 30 to 45 minutes of the pot time, so I knew I had plenty of time to come back and work on this. So I'm going to add a little of this good old Martha Stewart Peridot glitter in here, and then I'm going to take our Artsyville ice glitter and sprinkle some in here, because I know Camilla loves blue and she loves glitter and she loves Elvis, so if she didn't like this cup, oh well, I tried. Okay, so I've mixed this all up. Now the nice thing is most of our glitters are really good with solvent. Actually, all our glitters are really good with solvent-based products. One of the things you can have happen is you can put glitter in something like this and the color melts off of it and tints the epoxy and leaves you with clear or white glitter. That's not what happened. Okay, so let me, come on, turn my way. All right, turn the other way in a minute. Bring my sponge brush back. I'm going to wipe off a little bit just to try not to cross-contaminate the two glitters. There probably will be some. I'm not that worried. Just means Jennifer and Camilla are going to share a little love. Okay, so let's turn that on. Yay, that's turning towards me this time. And we're going to start by dipping in, brushing on. I never start with epoxy right up here at the edge, because that's a way to get it to run over the lip and have weird drips and do really unpleasant things. Some of this stuff you find out the hard way. And if there's anybody who's going to find it out the hard way, it will be me. I have found out almost everything in my life the hard way. This one, I think I probably just made a little more resin in here, because this one's covering a lot more surface a lot faster. So my guess is I just didn't have quite as much epoxy in the other cup. They're all just going to be fine because they all level. Epoxy on its own levels to a thickness of about 1/8 of an inch. As long as it doesn't have any borders, it will spill out and level out to a thickness of 1/8 of an inch. So you're never going to get a hugely thick coating on a cup without building up a few layers. And if that's what you want to do, that's cool. That works just fine. All right, so we've done our cups. You've seen that. That was pretty darn quick for making cups today. I'm going to take my glove off so I can grab my torch. And the next thing we're going to do is torch both of these. And the torching liquefies the epoxy a little bit, and then it raises bubbles to the surface so that there's no bubbles and imperfections. All right, and if it's on a slight angle, when it gets very liquid, you'll have a little bit dripping off the bottom, but eventually the spinning will level that out. And if you noticed, I didn't stick my torch right into my surface. I ran it across the top of it like this. All I want to do is raise the bubbles up. I don't want to torch into here because I can burn through the epoxy, through the foil, through the paint, and remove the entire finish if I'm not careful. And there we go. Now these will stay on this cup turner for 8 hours. In 4 hours, if I needed to, I could put another coat on. It will have thickened up enough. Let me turn this over back towards me and flip up. Okay. And if I missed, of course, if I missed anything, you know, I go through everything and answer all the questions again later. So this is going to turn for 8 hours. 4 hours, it's firm enough for a recoat, but not firm enough for you to grab it. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to mix the epoxy while it's still on the turners and put a second coat on it then. And then reset your turner time for another 8 hours to let it be hardened. At 8 hours, it's hardened enough to touch. 72 hours. Unlike other water-based products, within 72 hours, this is cured to a full, hard, food-safe cure. So, you know, if you're going to make these and give them to somebody for a party, make sure you make them a couple days ahead so that they can get there and be cured and be food safe. Anyway, so these will be hard and dry and ready to go first thing tomorrow morning, where I'm going to pack them up and ship them out so that my friends have them in time to see me. And, you know, I'm hoping everybody's having some fun. You're learning some fun things. I will go back through this and answer any questions that I have missed in the process of looking down. I figured when I'm playing with a blowtorch, it's smarter if I look at what I'm doing than look at the camera. Hey, David, nice to see you. And of course, we will be doing more lives this week. We're doing our darndest to give you interesting and fun projects while everybody's kind of stuck on lockdown. Do not forget, please sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. The love of these around allows us to grow the group, and therefore I can start doing contests again. And also, just have some fun with what you're creating. Enjoy. Well, I'm going to go, wow, it's 4:30 here. I didn't even know that. I'm going to go home. I'm going to go back to my family. I'm going to maybe go hang in my hammock in my backyard. Everybody have a wonderful, oh, where did I get the cup turners? Maddie, I said something about this earlier, but I did get them off of Amazon. And I don't remember whether it's called cup spinners, but you just Google cup turners and you're going to get like a dozen answers for cup turners. Yes, you can make them yourself, but for anywhere from for $20, $25, having them sent to me made is worth it to me. Anyway, sorry, distracted, reading, little bit getting blurry myself with all of this staying in place thing. Have a great day, sprinkle around, enjoy yourself. We are at paintedstudio.com. Do not hesitate to reach out either here through our website or through our page here on Facebook. We will happily answer any questions you have, and if I don't carry it, I bet I know who does, so don't hesitate to ask, and I will be happy to tell you. Have a great one, everybody. Bye-bye.